She did.
She
She's gone.
did. She did.
She's out.
Hi, I'm Lila Dubois.
And I'm Lexi Blake.
I'm Mary Carr.
And today on Drunk Romance, we will be discussing Mary's book, March Wind. And that's not actually the current title, is it?
No, it's not.
Wild Devotion.
You're going to start the whole thing over?
No, I'm going to put all the covers up on the screen right
Yes.
now.
I think
That's my favorite cover of all time.
Want
her head.
where her brain tumor
where the tumor is.
Aggression. The heroine dies.
I've never tried to hide that from anyone.
I'm allowed to be hard on it because the hero of this book is named after my husband, but his heroine just happens to be the only heroine in all of motherfucking romance with an actual brain tumor that kills her.
Does the back of the book actually say the heroine dies?
Oh, no, I like to leave a little something.
She's got a brain tumor because everybody's thinking that brain tumor is magically going to go away. Like legit.
I think, Mary, you should tell the story of why you wrote this. The story of like your cousin.
I've got that one's here.
My cousin's husband was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And he's young.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was just I don't know. It broke me a little bit, talking about breaking somebody. Mm-hmm. So then I just went into something and I just couldn't get out of it. So I wrote my way out of it, basically. But I have this little Word document on my computer that says, should I die? And it's like what music I want them to play at my wake and like where all the passwords are and your all's email. Like if I die, be sure to tell Lexi and Lila because they'll tell everybody else in the other world. Like this whole thing. But then at the end it says, and then just go ahead and read Wild Devotion and then you'll feel all right about me being dead.
That is not how it would go. Not even a little bit. That will not make me feel okay with your death. Jesus Christ.
That would comfort you? That wouldn't comfort you.
No.
I look the pink paper.
What I find lovely and subversive in romance about this book is the acknowledgement that no one gets an HEA. No one. Because you've also got the grandfather talking about how much he misses Sunday.
He does.
And that, you know, so no one gets an HEA. But if we love, truly and with an open heart, there is a happy ending. And that's why when I read this book, I genuinely believe there is this happy ending.
What was a happy ending?
It's not happily ever after.
But there was a happy ending.
I'll accept that.
What?
It was for her.
It is a happy ending, but it's not a happy ever. It's not even a happy for now. It's none of those.
But it's not a fairy tale. It's a real thing where they made the absolute best of what they had.
But in a way, isn't that a fairy tale? I mean, not in real fairy tales, not a lot of people survive. In a way, it's like I feel like it's like a modern fairy tale, you know, that to confront death, right? Like, isn't that what fairy tales are? Is there moral stories about dealing with shit? I think this is that.
We live this every day. And
I know, it's fucking worse.
You look at me, I'm getting fucking teary-eyed and my mask, you won't understand how much makeup I'm wearing until it slides off my face and reveals the reptilian underneath. And that's going to be your fault, Carr.
Reptilian.
What I genuinely loved about it and connected to was this idea of experiencing, knowing that this is going to happen, knowing that she is going to die, and being open to loving and having that experience, knowing that in the beginning it's because he's just a really kind soul.
He's just going to mark some things off her bucket list.
In a lot of ways, he's never been in love before, and he's like, you know what? I can help her.
I can help her.
And so when he decides her bucket list is getting married, one of the things, I'm going to marry her.
I'll marry her.
And that's like I'm going to give that to her. It's a giving thing. And then in the end, of course, he's He's so in love with her.
He's wrecked. He's wrecked.
And you know what was so amazing was that every time, and I don't know if I was doing this as a reader or as a writer, every time I thought of something that, you know, like, oh no, that's not accurate, or that's not a real feeling because XYZ, literally the next motherfucking page, you would have one of them think that or address that, you know? Like it was so clear that you examined this shit from every angle. You took this horrible, complex emotion and you were like, ugh. And you saw it, and you saw what was coming, and you know, like you had somebody kind of call him out on the fact that it was a little bit of a, not form of cowardice, but call him out on, you're going to fall in love with somebody who you know is dying, and you're going to marry somebody who you know is dying. So you are looking for, you know what I mean? You're going into this without having it open-ended, right? Like the rest of us go into a relationship, it's open-ended.
Yeah.
Maybe the person will get a brain tumor and die. Maybe we'll live long enough to learn to hate each other and get a divorce. Maybe we'll die together when we're 80.
I never
We
thought
don't
he
know.
went into it. He
But you
didn't.
had him you called him out.
Yeah.
You had him called out.
That's what happens when a writer bleeds on the page.
Yeah.
Because she was examining her feelings
feelings,
for
but-
what was happening in her own life in a lot of ways.
And
And I think that's why it's so important for authors. Sometimes we view ourselves as, we just write romance, and so we're going to write this one thing, and we don't view our own feelings and emotions as important. And they really, really are. This can help other people. What we write is meaningful and powerful, and we so oftentimes let people take that power from us by chipping away at our own voices.
Well,
by saying,
like,
don't
as far
matter.
as email goes, like it had the most reviews of any book for a long time that I ever had. Like, I don't, get a lot of reviews, but this one got like 1 million reviews, it felt like, and the most emails. And I'm still getting emails and people messaging me on Facebook, still going, all right, I finally bit the bullet and read this book. Like, for something was happening in their life when it came out, and like they skipped this one. A lot of people skipped 3. And that's what a lot of my writer friends were like, okay, you're in book 3 in a series that's doing pretty well, 1 and 2. Why would you kill the series in book 3? And I had that. A lot of people were like, okay, skip book 3. I just couldn't, for whatever. And there are a lot of reasons why people, like, they're going through it in their real life. Someone they know is dying, or then they're just like, I can't do that. I can't read that. But I've had so many people come back and go, I'll admit I skipped this one, and I came back to it and I was ready. And oh my God, like it's the most emails I get still from everyone. And they're so nice. I cry every time I get an email. They're just like, oh, so beautiful.
Well, I think that I worked through so much of the grief of my mom dying. And of course I beat that horse for 2 years.
Yeah.
I think people will be happy to know that my latest book will not be about grief.
Yeah.
But it's so helpful.
It is.
Like, did you feel better after you were done?
I did, yes. I did. And I still had that fear because it was book 3 in a series that I wanted to do well. And so I did send it. I sent it to a bunch of naysayers. Like, I had some friends who were just like, just before you put it out. And I wrote the stupid alternate ending where she lived, which I hated every word of it. And I haven't shown it to anyone. I'm just like, this is like such a cop out, and it doesn't work, and it ruins the whole book. But it was there because I thought, okay, if they say, and I asked people that I trusted, and they all came back and went, yeah, you have to publish it. And I did.
Okay, but let's talk about what is a romance.
Yeah.
There you go.
And that's what everyone.
All right. So, I mean, partially this conversation could be, does Nicholas Sparks write romance novels?
No. I'm just going to come in with no.
Okay, I would agree with no. So, how is what Nicholas Sparks does different than what Mary did? Because it's different. I just don't know how to fucking explain it.
It's not at all. Now, okay, you know why because we do this story 1,000,001 times, but we use it as backstory, and she wrote it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. In so many ways, this is a prequel to whatever happens to Porrick
Or next.
Have you written that book yet?
No, I can't wait. I have the whole plot account.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you do.
in so very many ways, like I said, it's the backstory that we get in the regular, this is going to be an HEA story. It's the background, but we feel it more because we see it. Is this a romance? Technically, no. Okay, how much of the Collins family is based on yours?
All of it. Like, they're not Irish.
So
but
what maybe you don't know, if you don't know Mary very well, is that she's got this big ass family.
Huge.
And they are both redneck and British.
Yes. Both sides. Yeah, we got all of it.
But
I know. I called my mother last night. It's so funny. I called my mother last night because I've got all these aunts. And my mother knows just enough technology to be dangerous. So she plugged me in on some kind of conference call. So I just called to ask a question. And in the meantime, she goes, listen, you're on with Barbara and Mary and me. So I was on with all the aunts and they all talk at the same time, 100% all at the same time on the phone. So I'm sitting there just wanting to ask my mother one damn question. Oh, how are you doing? How's school? How's, talking about the kids. And I was just like, yeah. I didn't mean to.
Okay, another question.
I don't think it would have been that sad.
That is lies. You did need to make us cry. You fucking liar.
Oh my God, that's such a bullshit lie.
That's a bullshit lie.
I cried, right? Imagine writing that. That was weeks of just like, ugh.
But you did what I always say to do. You bled on the page and it was beautiful.
I did. I cried and cried.
Okay. I would like to say that it is my favorite Mary Carr book, and it is beautiful.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lila Dubois.
I'm Mary.
I'm Lexi Blake.
Okay, fucking do it again.
Do it again.